All right, man. Christian Wilkins was released after uncertainty of his return to play after reporting to camp, according to the Raiders' official statement. He is dealing with the same injury that in his previous season after 5 weeks. And that was a foot injury. Foot injuries are one of those injuries you can't mess around with. Athletes obviously need their feet to perform to the best of their abilities, right? But this situation between the Raiders and Christian Wilkins really is a weird situation. The Raiders recently are known to release players that still have financial obligations to, right? And then force them to have to file arbitration claim. A recent player they just released that has some guarantees in his contract. But you know what? The internet detectives, they never fail us, baby. The internet detectives have found out Christian Wilkins has a long history of doing weird things, guys. Let's check it out.
Christian Wilkins was released because he was being an absolute weirdo in the Raiders locker room. Now, this is all alleged, but let's unpack. So we all heard that Christian Wilkins was released because he didn't take his rehab seriously. But it turns out that there was an incident with a teammate that led to his release. And when a teammate was asked about this, he said, it was weird, like a very weird incident. Now, the story floating around the internet is that Wilkins was allegedly tickling a man's toes repeatedly and would not stop, although he was asked 3 times. Insane. Now, Wilkins has always been an interesting player. There has been scenarios in which he has been accused of doing something like this, and especially when he played Josh Allen. Say that you zoom in very close. Here's Josh Allen, and look at my boy right down there. You'll notice what he's doing. Now, again, all of this is alleged, but I would be shocked if another team gives this man a shot in 2025. Sound off in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Like and follow for more daily NFL content.
What is the first thing that comes to mind, Trees, watching this man? That TikToker did an excellent job of going back in the history of Christian Wilkins and finding the evidence. Like I said, the internet detectives, man, they don't let us down. They will never let us down. What do you think of this situation? Now, we have to be polite and courteous and follow the rules and guidelines because we don't want no trouble and no issues. You understand what I'm saying? But how do you feel about this, man?
No, when I a lot of people say a lot of stuff on the internet, so a lot of times you can't believe it. But when I seen Adam Schefter report it and say that it was trouble in the locker room because he was trying to kiss people on the forehead, when he say it 9 times out of 10, he got the sources. So when he reported it today, I saw a report of him saying that today. I'm like, oh man, this might be the real reason, because before you thought it was the injury, he didn't take the rehab serious. He didn't want to do the surgery again. So they not trying to spend that money. They're trying to invest in somebody that's not taking it serious. But you see the reports coming from Adam Schefter, and then you see all the clips of his past history. That's not even that's like.
So you believe it? So as soon as Adam Schefter reported, you like,
no, it was like, I'm like, that's kind of weird. But then I seen the videos following that of his past history. Like, that's only half of it right there. I seen other videos of him doing half of it. We don't know. So it's kind of more believable now because I saw him on eyes.
The first thing I thought and think watching this video and seeing other videos of Christian Wilkinson, playing these funny games, is this guy's just too big to be playing these games. Like, this is a defensive tackle, 6'5", 350 pounds. How am I supposed to defend myself if I'm having unwanted play, people playing with me, unwanted attention and things like that, and the other thing is people that practice certain religions can be extremely offended from certain behavior and don't tolerate any games being played of that nature, like Wilkins is allegedly being accused of. Right. So, you can't just be going around 6'5", 350 pounds, thinking you can kiss somebody on the forehead, tickle somebody's toes. Hey man, you gotta respect the situation, man.
And I'm thinking like it gotta be somebody on the team that's like got a big say. Like, no, you're not gonna do that for nobody on the team. So it gotta be somebody that, like, somebody, another probably Pro Bowler or a nice player on the team where it's not you can take his word seriously. If he say what he
Hey,
say goes.
Donkey Fong in the chat say CTE, man. He should say everything is blamed on CTE. Hey, when me, I like to look in players' eyes and people's eyes and try to see if I can feel the energy or see something through their eyes. And when I look in Christian Wilkins' eyes from the internet, obviously, it just, kind of looks like he's in the cloud nine or, a little googly eyed, kind of out there, not understanding a few things, you know what I mean? But listen, man, Christian Wilkins' problems, they began stemming from a foot injury, like you mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he decided to go against the advice of the team and decline surgery, right? Now, this is about guaranteed contracts and guaranteed money. That's what we're getting into now, right? So he declined to get surgery. Then training camp comes around. Training camp began, and then problems still persisted with Wilkins' foot. Then the weird, odd incident occurred between Wilkins and a teammate that made the Raiders say they've seen enough of Wilkins. But the players from the Raiders won't really expose or give us any details of what really happened because everyone is saying what Christian Wilkins did is weird. And when someone's just saying it's weird, that means there is some more details that's probably graphic. Maybe they're ashamed to mention because they feel like they're football players, And the crazy part about the kissing part is that details are coming out that Wilkins' teammate, we don't even know who he is yet, filed an HR complaint over Wilkins kissing his forehead. This doesn't sound like the whole truth and nothing but the truth. That's just my opinion. This doesn't sound like the whole truth and nothing but the truth. But we will eventually hear more and more as time continues, We will find out. But here is the Raiders statement on the release of Christian Wilkins. All right, I'm not reading this from the screen anymore. All right, we ain't doing that no more. I'm not having that mess. All right, it says, we have decided that it is the best interest of the organization to move on for Christian Wilkins, and he has been informed of his release from the team. This franchise has a commitment to excellence on and off the field with no clear path or plan for future return to play from Christian. This transaction is necessary for the entire organization to move forward and prepare for the new season. Now, I forgot to title this and let y'all know that this is about Christian Wilkins' guaranteed money, right? And we're going to get into guaranteed money in the NFL and the expectations of having that guaranteed language. And the point is, what's guaranteed in life? Chat, y'all talk to me. What's guaranteed in life? 2, 3 threes?
What else? Taxes.
What else? That's it, man. Nothing is guaranteed in life. Not even taxes, man. People figure out ways and have people in higher places to avoid taxes. The only thing that is guaranteed in life is death. That's about it. There's nothing else guaranteed in life.
Somebody gonna say child support.
Child support. That might be the closest to second, closest to death. But, I think Christian Wilkins decided not to have the surgery and play these games because he thought he had the leverage. Like I told y'all about players having leverage. And, he went on the advice of whoever he was taking advice from, but obviously it wasn't the best advice. If you still come into training camp and you're still dealing with a nagging injury that hindered your season, this previous season before, right? You know what I mean? But back to these contracts. Although the language in these NFL contracts says the money is guaranteed, doesn't necessarily hold true in every contract, probably in all the contracts, right? And like I'm telling y'all, it's a very thin line between the guaranteed language in contracts and what teams can say violates the terms to void that guaranteed language, right? And we're going to get into that language. Christian Wilkins sounds like he may have been violating the 5-foot area rule in the locker room what is the 5 foot area rule in the locker room? The 5 foot area is we all taking showers together. We all have to put on our towel and dry off accordingly. And a lot of players, most of the players are naked. So if I'm in my locker, I'm doing my thing and I'm drying off accordingly, or maybe I'm taking a shower. In the shower, we all are naked. There's a 5 foot area rule. Don't come in that 5 foot radius. And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like that 5 foot radius was definitely violated, especially if people are talking about he kissing them on the head. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, watch out for some more embarrassing news to come out in the near future, man. Hopefully it's nothing like we've just watched him do in these videos that I just played. You know what I mean?